radios open and listening to music and had good times rolling. And they love singing with the radio. Singing with the radio. Let's bring that back. Ramapo 90.3 on the FM dial. While streaming online, you'll find WRPRs by the people for the people. And let's bring back singing with the radio. Singing with the radio.
You're listening to WRPR Mawa.
Now that's a face for radio.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. For many years, you know I've had a drink problem and I'm trying to battle that problem every single day. But one thing I don't do, I don't drive my car when I'm drinking. I get someone to drive me. Do not drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing. If you drink, just don't drive. Not only are you going to hurt yourself, you may hurt some other person, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
This is Dominic Rogers Cromartie, and you're listening to the Beast of the East on 90.3 FM. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, far too kind.
Well, thank you, Dominique. We are in the Beast of the East. Live work, Dino Latini, George Humphrey, here with you on this Wednesday, October 19th, 2016. We apologize for the delay. Obviously, I'm still trying to work out the kinks of our new sound bites.
Oh, Dominique Rogers Kamadi.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a big pickup.
We got him, and I'm not going to tell you. I'll just...
Yeah, don't do that.
I'll just play them later.
Oh.
But clearly, I'm working out the kinks.
You are.
Heard you got Odell. Is that just a rumor?
That's a big rumor. That's false.
That would definitely be the start. Like I would start. I don't know.
Oh, of course.
Rogers Cromartie's sick though. He's a big player.
It's Odell Beckham.
That was Odell. He just said Rogers Cromartie. Like, he doesn't want to let people know that he's part of our show.
Yeah, when you sent that to me, when you guys were at the event and I was in the gym, you sent that to me. It got me pumped. I was like, oh wow.
You were just banging out 3 plates after that. Plates on plates.
Dean finally got the 45s on both sides.
Wow.
Kid hasn't been in the gym since 2003.
George doesn't even have 25s on plates. on each side. Wow. That's rough, man. It's all right.
Wait, what?
What? Anyway, this got awkward. So, speaking of Odell Beckham Jr., have you talked about this yet? Because you were here Monday and Tuesday.
Was I here Monday?
You were here yesterday.
I was here yesterday because I had to get on here. And
right.
I shared my piece about Odelli.
Odelli?
Yeah.
We'll talk about Geno and Ryan Fitzpatrick because Fitzpatrick got benched. George, real quick, are you happy about it or no?
Absolutely. Okay, so...
real quick. We said real quick.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. Get out.
Thanks for the input, George.
Yeah, thanks, man. So, Odell Beckham Jr., comeback game of the year, 8 catches, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns on Sunday. And at the end of the day, I know I'm going to sound like the old guy on the lawn, but me and George absolutely 100% agree on this, and I wish Scott was here because he and I feel so differently about this. We feel so differently about this. But I'm going to sound like the old man, but Odell Beckham Jr., as good as he is, as he was the MVP of that game on Sunday, he still gave the Giants a chance to lose that game by getting that 15-yard penalty. And we say it time and time again, he is a me guy. But Sunday honestly took it really over the top for me. Once he scores that touchdown, he's trying to let everyone know I scored that touchdown. Not the Giants just took the lead and saved the season, but I scored a touchdown. Takes off his helmet as soon as the play is over, automatic flag, runs to the sideline, and proposes to the kicking net. It has to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that he was the most valuable player on Sunday. I understand that the Giants won because of him. It has to stop.
Totally agree. And I was furious when I saw that. And I mean, I got pumped because, like you said, it was
Yeah.
a breakout game, and to have that 66-yard touchdown run, it was just amazing. But he acted like the time expired, like as if it was a walk-off home run, a buzzer beater, something like that. No, you still had I think it was like 55 seconds.
No, it was more than
No,
that.
no, it was like a
minute
minute.
plus. It was
Yeah,
like
minute like
20.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
under
it was
the
a
minute
amount of
20.
time.
It wound up only being an 8-yard penalty anyway, but
That's
Yeah,
right.
regardless
Because-
of that, but
But
still.
what if the kickoff returner, takes it to the 50?
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
lose? I wish that happened. I really
so
do.
here's the thing. I like how you said that because we were pumped in that room.
Yes.
And then as soon as that happened, I sat right back down. And I just said, "Why did you do that?" Odell
do the
made
same
him.
thing.
I was down here with Odell, and then he brought it back up to here, and then in the span of 2 seconds, not even, he brought it right back down.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to root for him. He makes it so hard to root for him, and I get it. We're all 21 years old in this room. We understand that young guys will do these celebrations, and you know what? Those celebrations are targeting us and younger.
Mm-hmm.
The old fans are hooked already. Fans 30 and above, 40 and above, they'll watch football. It doesn't matter anymore. The NFL is aiming for the younger fan, and that's what they like.
Yeah.
And I consider us to be younger fans. We're younger than
Definitely.
99% of professional football players.
Yeah.
But we still are younger than most of the guys in the NFL. But enough with this all about me. And I was telling Scott, and I think I was telling you too. He wants to make himself known. He's made himself known. What more does he have to market toward himself? One good catch. The guy could have had, God forbid, a career-ending injury. He still would have been famous. He would be making money 50 years from now from one catch. He doesn't have to market himself anymore. What is with this me attitude? I understand that you are probably the most gifted receiver in the National Football League. But you don't have to let everyone know that you are the man. I like this phrase. When you're good, people will tell you you're... No, it's when you're good, you will tell people you're good. When you're great, people will tell you.
Mm.
I don't necessarily follow that all the time, but I think it's just a good way of putting things into perspective.
LeBron's never said anything about how good he is.
Yeah.
Ever. He knows how good he is. He knows he's literally a
And
top
the
three
only
player
thing
ever.
he'll say is, I want to chase Jordan. But he'll never say, I'm the
better
reason.
than them. He'll
Right.
never say he's
He'll
better
never
than
say he's better than them. He'll never say that he was the reason why they won,
Even though it blatantly is.
even though it blatantly is. Exactly.
I think Odell's mindset is, I'm so good and I did so much for this team that I can do what I want and this 15-yard penalty doesn't matter.
That's the thing. And you know what bothers me so much? The fact that 3 weeks ago, when he was not putting up stats, quote, I'm not having fun anymore. He wasn't having fun because the Giants won. He was having fun because he went off. And what's funny is that I was talking to a lot of people about this. So you don't like when Antonio Brown twerks in the end zone. You don't like when Golden Tate celebrates with the cheerleaders. I like that. Why? Because it's not hurting my team. It's not hurting my fantasy team.
Right, like, I don't like
Antonio Brown can do whatever the hell he wants. It doesn't affect me. And you know what? If Antonio Brown does that on December... I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. But if Antonio Brown does that on December 4th when the Giants go to Pittsburgh, I'll say thanks.
The fact that he proposed to the net, like, okay.
Get over yourself.
It's
Get over the net,
It's annoying and
please.
dumb, but at
Next
least
touchdown,
that
he's
doesn't
going to
draw a
make
penalty.
love to it.
Literally. Like, just celebrate with your teammates. They walk over to him like, I think his teammates hate him. I really do.
No teammate goes up to him.
I know. On the sideline, he walks around by himself.
Except
like,
maybe Cruz, Shepard,
because
Eli.
they have to. It's like an almost like they have to thing. If he wasn't so good, everyone would hate him. But he is. He literally is so good.
He's so good.
He's amazing. He should get the ball so much more.
And that's why I'm starting to hate. I mean, I already hate New York fans as it is. But 3 weeks ago, this guy was a disgrace to football. He makes a meme out of one meme, and then he's loved again.
Do you see
his last three touchdowns? He has done something with the kicking net.
Do you see his Instagram?
Get over it.
Everything is about him on his Instagram. Like, if people...
He actually did post about Eli Manning the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, all right, so 9 out of 10 things on his Instagram are something about him or, like, how
Just
he's
playing
not
devil's
having
advocate,
fun
yeah.
or, like, yeah. like how he's not motivated or how he's like no one's gonna take him down. Like it's all about him.
It's so annoying at this point. It's fun at first, but then when you get to the point where you actually hurt your team and get a personal foul called on you.
Well,
Let's say he did get a personal foul earlier on in the game. That would have been an ejection. But he doesn't. He just doesn't get it. He wants to market himself so badly. He loves the camera. I get it. Cameras are always around him. 25
Did you see when
cameras
he was
were
proposing?
They acted like
It was like a wall.
they acted like the president just got off of Air Force One in the middle of a parking lot.
No, it was. You're right.
But they just feed him and feed him and feed him, and he's not going to say no. The guy loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it. But it gets to the point where if you are hurting your team, that's the issue.
Right. Like I said, the net stuff is just stupid, I think. But if it doesn't draw a penalty, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. And this is where the Golden Tate thing comes in. Celebrating with the cheerleaders. You know what? If Odell did that, I would be a little angry. Does he put his team in jeopardy? No. That's what it comes down to. Every time Odell is all about me, getting into fights with cornerbacks and stuff like that, that is all about me, and in turn puts his team in jeopardy.
The net thing is an all about me thing too.
But it doesn't put his team in jeopardy, and
right, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
But it's all about him. That's all I'm saying.
And it's still annoying. Again, he doesn't have to market himself anymore. He markets himself every Sunday. What do we see on NFL Twitter? This catch didn't count, but wow, Odell Beckham Jr., good catch. They tweet.
He like catches the ball.
They tweet his pregame.
They tweet his pregame ritual. They tweet. I swear, they tweeted a video of him making a catch out of bounds, and it said, "This didn't count, but wow." What other marketing do you have to do? He doesn't have to do anything, but he still does it because he's all about himself. But you know what? The Giants aren't going to say anything. Especially when he has 222 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns and saves your season. And I get it. I'm not mad that the Giants lost. Are you kidding me? That saved their season. They would be heading into London 2-4 with a realistic chance to lose and go 2-5 to the bye week. Now they're 3-3. I'm happy about it. But again, Odell, real quickly, his feelings from me got me back up to here. And in less than a second and a half, it went right back down.
As soon as I saw the helmet, I was furious. But that run and that whole sequence was literally the definition of him. He's a great athlete, super skilled. You saw he outran 4 guys.
Why does he have to piece out the cornerback?
Yeah, that too. Well, that's what I was going to say too. He started celebrating.
He should have gotten a personal foul for taunting.
I thought it was going.
And then he should have gotten a personal foul for doing the triple. He could have gotten ejected on one play.
That that literally described him. It is him. He has the skills, but as soon as it gets to where he's going to score, he starts celebrating. Right, he's celebrated before he even got in the end zone.
One day, it's going to come back to bite him.
It literally
look at Deshaun Jackson
with 17 seconds.
He's fumbled the ball at the 1 yard line.
They were at the 25-yard line with 17 seconds, and no one was covering Mike Wallace.
Yeah.
Flacco, if he completes that pass, they have the ball at the 5-yard line with 12 seconds left and 4 chances to score, and the Giants lose easily.
Devil's advocate, agree with you 100%, and I know exactly. I'm going to play devil's advocate again. Let's say the Giants do let up a touchdown there. What kind of show are we having today? Giants defense is terrible, or Odell Beckham Jr. Cost him the game?
He's getting
Odell
cost him the game.
I would think that if we were on a national show, for the most part, it would be. I think it would be 50-50. But you know what? Those 8 yards matter.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe not to Joe Flacco, who can launch the ball from anywhere. But
that's the thing too. I was like, this isn't another quarterback. This is Joe. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's
who can launch it.
Yes, he has a great
arm.
That's why I was even more mad, because he has a good arm, and you saw his throw. He made it to the end zone, that throw at the last play, which was knocked down. I was actually surprised, to be honest, that the Giants actually knocked that down. I thought something was going to happen, like someone was going to come away with it.
That would have been so Giants.
But yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. But
so Jets.
That too.
So New York.
So New York. So New York football. 201-825-1234 is the number. Please call in with your thoughts. 201-825-1234. Oh, I wish Scott was here because we all agree on this. But Scott,
but Scott's thought process is, I'd just rather have him and with the penalties than someone else, which is completely true. I would too, but why do you need the
Understandable.
penalty?
Right.
It's just not necessary. And why does Odell have a problem with keeping his helmet on? He gets hurt.
Because he loves to show
rips
his face.
helmet off.
He loves to show his
He
face.
He loves to
catch.
show his
On the
face.
field, he takes his helmet off all the time. It's not just this time.
He loves
Like
to
on
show.
yeah.
He loves to show
Yeah,
his
he
face.
loves to show.
He
The only-
wants his face in that.
In the
doesn't get
NFL,
flags all
all
the
you
time,
need,
too.
the only people that you know the faces of usually are quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the big
yep.
faces. You usually, if you you can't say like what a lineman's face looks like.
I was at the
you know what I mean?
Giants
Like
event.
that.
I was at the Giants event the other night.
Didn't recognize that one.
Didn't recognize one person.
See?
Didn't recognize one person.
Because it's a whole helmet.
Except, let's see,
You know
Kareem
Odell,
McKenzie.
though.
I recognize
Yeah, because
Kareem.
of why? Because he has that signature hair. He has
Yep,
the
it's
he has
his
the
hair.
beard going on.
Yep, exactly. Who did I recognize? I recognized DRC, barely.
Did you Herzlich? He was
Yeah, I
Well,
kind of
there?
knew
I kind of
her.
recognize him.
Kind of recognized him. Kareem McKenzie, obviously.
Oh yeah.
I did recognize Landon Collins.
I see. I don't think I would.
Landon Collins
I don't
is
think.
Yeah,
I don't think I would.
Casillas I didn't recognize.
there? I wouldn't.
Paul, not Paul Perkins.
Bobby
Devon
Rainey?
Kennard, I did not recognize.
Is Bobby Rainey there?
Bobby Rainey
Your
was
boy?
not
There's
there.
probably like at most 10 people I'd recognize on the Giants.
Let's see. Eli, Odell,
Cruz.
Cruz.
I'd recognize John Brown.
I think I would.
Legitimately?
Yeah, legitimately, I'd recognize John Brown, the kicker.
Yeah, I
You
think,
know
I
what
think
his
maybe.
looks
at
like?
this point, yeah.
They always show the kicker.
Yeah. Sterling Shepard, I think I probably would at this point.
Really? I think I'd walk past him. I was that-
DRC, you'd recognize.
DRC,
right?
you
Maybe
recognize.
Jenkins, you recognize.
I don't know his face yet.
JPP.
Doesn't Jenkins have dreads?
JPP.
JPP,
But that's just
obviously.
because long.
Jenkins has dreads, right?
Jenkins has yours.
So I'd
yeah.
recognize Jenkins.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
true.
you would. The
Vernon. I've
Was he there?
met Vernon also. No, he wasn't there. But again,
Maybe Vernon.
why does he have a problem taking off his helmet? Because he wants to be known.
Yes.
He wants people to walk up in the street and
There's
yell
so-
Odell, Odell, Odell.
You can easily do that
Which he already
when you
has.
get to the sideline. Just wait. What's
He can't.
That's the problem.
I know.
can't.
All
He
you have
can't.
to do is literally you wait, you run, you do your thing, you propose, blah blah blah. As soon as you get to the sideline, take it off.
And
Propose,
did
go to the crowd,
anyone
whatever.
see what he did right after the touchdown? He was running to the sideline and he yelled at someone. It was
No, I
either
didn't.
a ref or someone on the Ravens. He didn't get in their face, but he yelled at them as he was running toward their bench. And then he goes and proposes to the kicking net in front of millions of cameras.
I'll defend him in one standpoint. It's a lot, especially like you said, breakout game. That was a lot of emotion, and he's been saying,
Yeah,
we said it before.
You're right.
When he gets the
You're
ball,
right.
I that's what he says. Well, that's why I think. He says, "You get me the ball, we're gonna win this game." So right there, touchdown pass, big wins the game ultimately. So that's just a lot of emotion. But we've said it week after week. Have to control it. What's the difference between taking off your helmet when you just score or just going to the sideline, which is not that far. It's not that far, and no one's gonna forget about the touchdown.
And I'm so sick of people saying it's passion. You're right. You're right. People who saying it is passion are 100%. You can show passion without being immature.
Yeah.
That is my biggest thing. That's why in baseball, I'm not a fan of Bryce Harper. I'm not a fan of Josh Donaldson. I've become less of a fan of Manny Machado. You can show passion all day. Just don't be a diva about it.
That turns then, in my opinion, it turns into emotion. Because when you have passion,
Right.
you respect the
And
game,
then it turns
you love
into a
the
me
game.
thing.
Right.
It turns
To
into a me
emotion, it's all
aspect.
about me. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. But
Tell me him and Dez aren't so alike. When
Dez,
Dez
they're
is younger,
diff- I
Dez is
think-
younger.
I think
the
they're
same exact
different
way.
in the sense. Dez is more of like,
but has
your fault, your fault, your fault.
Yeah.
Odell's like, kind of, it's me. Give the ball to me.
I think
your
Dez
fault.
wants
You're
to
not giving it
win
to me.
more than Odell.
I think Dez cares
Dez
more.
cares more about his team than Odell does.
And I can prove you right by saying this. He doesn't get the targets that he deserves.
Right. He on the sidelines, Dez is hurt. You see him the last 2 weeks. He's clapping. He's so happy. Like
Yeah.
Elliott comes off, he daps him up. Like
Yeah.
he loves it.
I mean, I'm sure it's not like if Odell were hurt, he'd be sitting on the sidelines like, "Oh, I wish I was playing today." But I mean,
That's true. We haven't seen it.
But-
I actually wonder what happened.
and of course, the guy doesn't want to go out there and lose a football game. I'm sure if
Yeah,
that day happened, and the Giants still lost, he's probably a little upset that they lost. Of course, no one wants to go out there and lose.
Yeah.
But would Odell be complaining that much if he had this game and they lost.
Like
That's
last
the
week, right?
question.
Wasn't last week? Actually, he had a great game. He had a good game.
More so against the yeah.
This is the best
He
game
only
of
had
his
56
career,
yards.
too, you realize?
Oh yeah,
This is the
definitely,
best game he's ever had.
definitely.
What today?
This game.
The last game?
8 catches. That's like most
Is
he's
it?
ever had, I think. The yards is the most he's ever had and 2 touchdowns.
Well, the yards was the second most by a Giant ever.
Yeah. The
Oh.
yards is the most he's ever
I think
had.
his career high in touchdowns is 3.
Right. I think he had 1-3 game.
I think he
last
had
year.
one
Maybe against
3.
the Rams.
When
The
there
Rams
no
was
one.
2 years ago.
Oh.
How many did he have against
New
the
Orleans.
Dolphins?
New Orleans.
Yeah,
Didn't he have a bunch against New
He
Orleans?
definitely had, at
He had
least
3
1
against New
touchdown.
Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
it was like
New Orleans
He's
defense
home
is so
and
good.
whatnot.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that's it.
what? What's that?
So the Saints D is so good.
Yeah, and Odo's just that good.
He's so good, but it's just so annoying.
It is.
And I get you like the camera. I get you want the fans to love you. I get that you want to succeed. And you know what? If I had that God-given talent, then who knows? Maybe I might do the same thing. But I can guarantee you, if I were in that position, there was no way that I would put my team in jeopardy. 6:25 here in Mahwah, New Jersey. Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM. Geno Smith in at quarterback. Fitzpatrick benched after making himself quite the payday. We'll talk about it right here on Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM.
Hey, this is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers for RAD. I'm here to remind you that drunk drivers are still a major killer of young adults in this country. So always choose a designated driver, and remember, music lives, you should too.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. For many years, you know I've had a drink problem, and I'm trying to battle that problem every single day. But one thing I don't drive my car when I'm drinking. I get someone to drive me. Do not drink and drive. It's the stupidest thing. If you drink, just don't drive. Not only are you going to hurt yourself, you may hurt some other person, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience, would you?
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
This is Jonathan Casillas from the New York Giants, and you're listening to Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM.
I did it.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
I'm surprised. That was nice.
I'm really excited right now.
Is that the
Let me
only
know.
two? We
You
got
guys
more.
want me to do a take soon?
Oh, I have more.
No
What's that?
way.
You guys want me to do a take soon, or?
Now we're fine, George. Thanks.
I'll pay you to not.
Alright, deal.
I'll take that 20. Man, this is all Giants.
How many more do I have?
I'm waiting for the. This is Ben McAdoo, and you're listening to.
I have 2 more.
This is George Hunkley, receiver from the Intramural Champs.
Oh, great! Yeah, awesome.
Wide receiver,
quarterback. Might be quarterback soon.
Hey, let's.
Oh, no.
Oh no, Brandon! If you're listening, we got to talk.
And realistically, he's not listening.
Realistically,
Billy.
what do you mean? Realistically, he's not listening.
I don't know.
He's in the library.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Me and,
Oh, okay.
me and Dean
Oh,
are
maybe he has his
we're running
headphones
like
in.
the Notre Dame system. Dean gets all the yards to get us there, and then I come in like inside.
That's literally it.
Red
First,
zone.
watching this
First
game.
play, he scrambles into the end zone,
I know.
which was actually a smart. No, I know you did
No,
not.
He
do that
said
on
he was going to
purpose.
do that.
No, I
But
literally
he,
didn't
when we
do
were
it
looking
on
at the tape,
purpose at all.
so many people were open.
Not really.
No,
No, I know I wasn't.
No, we
None
were
of
looking
it
at
was
the
like open. Everyone had like space.
Like you could have went to
I could have thrown it
places. Yeah.
somewhere.
No, but, I know your plan wasn't to scramble into
It
the end
just
zone.
happened. And it-
But
You said
as
you were
as you
good.
were crossing the end zone, you started laughing because you knew everyone was going to
I
say
literally was
something.
like, sorry.
You're so.
That was
I
funny.
didn't even do it on purpose.
So we had a quarterback change today. The Jets had a quarterback change on Monday,
Wow.
and it looks like that will continue for quite some time. Ryan Fitzpatrick on the bench, Geno Smith in. Fitzpatrick is now the number 2.
Right.
So Bryce Petty's still the 3. And I've seen a lot of people say that Bryce Petty should start. I don't think I'm with that just
I'm
yet.
not.
You have to be statistically eliminated from the playoffs to play him. Until you are
Now here's okay.
until you have like 7 or 8 losses, he does not play.
All right, now here's my question. They're not statistically eliminated yet. Why is Geno Smith in?
I think that's the right move. I think he's the best.
You think it
quarterback.
is the right
I
move,
think
okay.
that the way Fitz is playing right now, Geno Smith is the right person to play. And I think the reason Fitz looked good is because of Decker. Like I keep saying, Decker hurts so much no one even realizes.
Okay, so now when Geno plays poorly,
He'll have his turnovers. I mean, he throws good balls. I don't know why. I could not tell you why. I've watched this guy play. I've never been happier to see a quarterback come in the game for the Jets. And for whatever reason, I think with Brandon Marshall, I think he's going to have a pretty, decent to good year.
even without Eric Decker.
Yes, I think he's going to have because he's never had anyone.
Yeah, but you said before Eric Decker, big loss.
But for Fitz, Geno's had no one ever.
That's true.
I hope that's Brandon.
Let's go to the phone lines. Someone hung up. There you go. Nice. All you hear is just the. Try next time. Call in, please. 201-825-1234. That's 201-825-1234. That is a good point, though. Geno literally had never had anyone.
He was on a bad team.
But does it really matter, though, when. Is there much of a difference in skill set between these two guys?
Yes. Skill set? Yes.
Skill set, okay.
Geno is
talent,
far better.
Skill set, yes.
The
talent.
way they play on the field.
I think knowledge. I think Fitzpatrick's a very smart guy.
Okay,
Geno can play. You know he can play.
He can. He looked good when he came in.
Games that don't matter.
Yes, I agree. But now, if Geno plays poorly, when are people going to call for Bryce Petty to take the quarterback?
When they're eliminated, and if he plays poorly, that won't be far away, so it will work out.
So is it you're not going to get back Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick's done.
No, he's done for the season. I think that once you pull him, he's done. And if you wouldn't put him back in, you play Petty or someone else if they're eliminated. I think Geno's going to look like a hero because now they got through that 6-game stretch of the ridiculous teams. Now they play Ravens, average team. They play
Cleveland,
the Rams, average team, and they play the Browns
and no Dolphins too.
And these 3 games are before their bye week. There's the next.
They come back. They come back and they face the Patriots.
Right, but so in the next 3 games, Geno's going 2-1 or 3-0, I think. And he's gonna look like like Geno Smith.
Okay, so why did they bring out Fitzpatrick?
What do you mean?
Play poorly.
Okay, but they have an easy schedule these next 1, 2, 3, 4 games.
He actually just sucks. I personally thought he was way better than Geno Smith, but he's a journeyman for a reason, and I see why now. That's my opinion.
So even though that they have an easy schedule, it doesn't matter at this point.
I actually think that Geno Smith is the better option to play.
That's
really what I think.
I'm just trying to get conversation. So I agree, though, because they just lost 5 games in a row, but
they didn't lose by a touchdown. They scored 3 points.
Yeah.
They can't score.
Exactly. They can't score. We'll try the phone lines one more time right here on Beast of the East. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Matt, New Brunswick.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
So, I know Scott's with Geno Smith. I missed your take. Who did you think the Jets should have went with from this week on?
From this week on?
Yeah.
I think you have to go Geno. I think that, again, the Jets have a tough schedule, but they don't have, quote-unquote, good losses. All of these losses, they're not playing well. Ryan Fitzpatrick does not have a touchdown in the second half. He hasn't thrown a touchdown in 2 weeks. 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, in my opinion, I stick with Fitz another week. I forget who said it, but I liked the whole put him out there this week, and if he didn't have a good game and didn't get a W, then you go to Geno Smith. But the reason you go to Geno Smith is nobody's talked about it. This is his last season under contract. So you try not to let him walk out the door if he has some talent. But at the same time, I mean, I can't really buy into the fact that he's never had any talent around him. He's had Eric Decker. He
had Eric Decker as his number 1 receiver, Matt.
Yes, but he was terrible. Geno Smith was never good. Not even close to good. His 8-8 year, he was terrible. What do you have, 27 touchdowns, 33 interceptions on his career? It's not even he was average and he didn't have any talent. He was god-awful, and he is god-awful. I don't care if he was prepared or not. He went into a Monday night game and fumbled and then threw a pick in consecutive plays. He's the worst.
But why
not go to Bryce Petty?
Because Bryce Petty, talk about a guy who's not ready. Bryce Petty's not ready, in my opinion. I don't think he is. I think Geno is the better option. And you know what? Here's my argument to you now. And you're probably going to say it doesn't matter. But remember, what year was it? was it 2014 when Geno went off the last 4 weeks of the year? I get that they were statistically eliminated, but were those 4 games an accident? You probably think they were. I personally don't think they were.
Well, we all know that Geno Smith has some talent, right? He's got the arm talent.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some mobility. But, I mean, if you look at Fitzpatrick last year Fitzpatrick wasn't an accident, but he's got none of those things.
Was he not an accident? He had Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker both fully healthy.
Yeah.
And George just said he's been a journeyman for his entire career. That's not an accident.
So have a lot of quarterbacks. Unless you're a franchise quarterback, you're a journeyman quarterback.
That's true, and the Jets haven't had a franchise quarterback in a long time. And thanks for the phone call, Matt. We'll talk to you later. But you say that Geno's bad. I understand. I agree that he's not a phenomenal quarterback, but I will buy into the fact that he's never had anyone. His best receiver was Eric Decker for 1 year.
That season, can we talk about how Eric Decker played at max 10 games? He literally was hurt. Eric Decker's always hurt. He sits all the time. Did you see that thing about how he could miss next season too?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
There's a possibility he can miss next season.
You know what? I said this last night. I think actually Matt touched upon it from yesterday. I said that because this was before we even got the actual official news, and I said, well, you look at the schedule you got going on before your bye week, and this could be a good transition period for either quarterback. You can say, all right, Fitz, listen, we got to play the Ravens. They're a good team. Are they a top-tier team like we've been playing? No. You better get back on track or you're done. If he doesn't get back on track, you bring in Geno. Geno gets to play the Browns, or he goes into that Baltimore game, and then you get to play the Browns. Who's at the Browns?
What?
Who's at the Browns? I think Dolphins, and then
at Dolphins, and then home against LA.
Home against LA, and then your bye week. Then you can invest in Geno for the rest of the year.
They should go 3-1 in those games based off roster talent. They should win at least 3 of those. The Browns, if the Browns even come close to beating us, I'm not watching anymore.
But you don't know what you're going to get out of Geno. I know he has the arm, and he looked good. I liked how he looked in the Arizona game, even though Tyrann Mathieu made an insane interception.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw.
That was a great play.
I liked what I saw out of him.
4th down, he had to throw the ball somewhere.
That was
that pick wasn't on Geno.
Yeah, it wasn't even on Geno. Right. So that was a good promise. I know it was only for a drive or whatever. So you're looking ahead, and now if you invest in Geno for the rest of the season, if he doesn't work out, and realistically, if he doesn't work out, the Jets are going to be out of contention.
Yeah, at worst, you give him to the bye. And by the bye, you know if you're out of contention.
Exactly.
Or not,
so that being said, if you don't want him to keep going, you can bring in Bryce Petty.
Right.
You're not going back to Fitzpatrick. Why go back to him?
Right. If you don't go 3-1 before the bye, then you play Petty.
Yeah.
And let's go over the first thing you said also. This is Geno Smith's last year.
I didn't even realize that, actually.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, he signed a 1-year deal. This season just pretty much ruined the rest of his career. No team is going to want him. No team even wanted him anyway, except for the Jets.
And the Jets are done with him now.
The Jets are done with him now. No team. Fitzpatrick was the Jets were the only team Fitzpatrick spoke with the entire offseason.
I was like, why doesn't Denver want him? And why don't these teams want him? He's better than Mark Sanchez.
I thought Fitzpatrick was going to go to Denver.
Yeah, I thought it was Denver Jets. If Jets weren't going to get him, I thought
there's a reason why, and now I see why.
Yeah,
I didn't see it before because literally he had a great season last year.
Yeah, I was a full-on advert of Ryan Fitzpatrick needed to resign with the Jets.
Yeah,
I was a full-on and honestly, if you weren't an advocate, because based on available I'm not saying they should have traded for Drew Brees. Available quarterbacks. Exactly. You have to be realistic. It's like firing and hiring coaches. Oh, the Colts should fire Chuck Pagano. I would love to see them get a guy like insert person who's hired. They're hired. You're not going to get them. I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. Yankee fans say it all the time. I would love to have a guy like Terry Francona. Oh, okay. Well, Terry Francona is probably going to win Manager of the Year with the Cleveland Indians, and he's going to sign a deal for another 5 or 6 more years. Be realistic here. Oh, that's not a B, is it?
I don't think so.
That better not be.
No, that's fine.
All we see is B's in the soccer press box.
It's awful, actually.
I killed 4 or
there
5
were
with the fly swatter.
10 to 15
and they're coming back
today in the press box.
Yeah, that's all.
Scary.
That's all me.
No, well, some of them were on our side, so can't be all you.
Let's give him the credit.
Yeah, right?
No, it was all
B
you,
killer.
B killer. That's me.
Sorry.
But again, this is Geno's last year in the contract. Every team in the NFL now knows what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. If the Jets, if Geno Smith winds out somehow going on a run, not saying they make a playoff run, but let's say the Jets finish this year 6-10.
Yeah.
That means they would go 5-5 in their last 10 games, which is absolutely reasonable with this schedule. Absolutely reasonable, 6-10. And
Either win out or lose out. Don't do both.
But
that's true.
Here, the other thing too.
Well, you can't do both. You can't win out and lose out. That's impressive.
Yeah, I would.
Jets. So Jets.
That would be so Jets if they won out and lost.
But I was saying, like you said, they're both on one last year of their contracts. What if they both don't do well? You're not going to re-sign guys who didn't do well for you.
Then you got to look into the draft.
My opinion
and
is,
you have to try to trade for someone, and maybe those unrealistic fantasies will work out, or you got to train Bryce.
I think
it has to be
trade,
quick though.
I think if you find someone you like, you trade for the number 1 pick and pick them. I think that's the most successful way to get a quarterback, and I think that's.
Are there any quarterbacks available this year?
Well, there's,
I don't know.
What's the name from Clemson? I don't know why I can't remember.
Sean Watson.
Right, but I personally don't like Watson. There's the kid from Notre Dame, who's pretty good, and then there's one other good quarterback. Can't remember his name, but there are like some that. Those are like the main
not
three.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is a
He can't
sophomore.
graduate. It's like from USC or something like that. It's like one of those standard offense quarterbacks.
Don't draft a USC quarterback.
Don't draft
They
a
already
USC
did that.
quarterback. Is right.
I know.
They did already do that.
But then again, like you look at this team though, like if you bring in you won't. The Jets don't have many options anyway, regardless, because you're not gonna. There's not a big time quarterback who's gonna be on the free agency. That I can think of.
Nope.
And usually you don't see that. You really don't see that. Like Drew Brees, Brady, Rod, they're not going to be on the free agents. Yeah, they're going to get their money, whatever. So, but you look, if you bring in a Petty or even Hackenberg, even though I think that would be a terrible idea.
Hackenberg should literally just be cut.
Yeah, please. Never should have been drafted.
Yeah, that was...
But you look at the team they have around them. You have a Forte, seasoned veterans, and you're going to throw in a rookie quarterback with them. Like, is that like that doesn't seem good to me.
Let's look at the quarterbacks that are available
right now
after this year.
Okay. Ooh.
Are they? But
I love
even
these.
Say if they're restricted, I guarantee the good ones are restricted.
Every quarterback is actually unrestricted.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Who is it?
Every quarterback on this list is unrestricted. Kirk Cousins.
Wow, get him.
Interesting.
No, terrible.
I think he's playing well enough at this point to the point where the Redskins will re-sign him.
Yes.
I agree. So I think you have to assume Kirk Cousins will be back because they literally have no one else. Case Keenum, Sean Hill, EJ Manuel, Matt McGloin.
No.
Who?
Don't know. Blaine Gabbert.
No.
Not.
Blaine Gabbert.
Matt Castle.
Hey.
No.
Mark Sanchez.
Bring him back.
No.
Brian Hoyer, Mike Lennon. I'm not going through the list. You
Honestly,
guys get the point.
Other than Cousins, Hoyer's probably the best one on there.
You think Jets want to have like an open tryout for fans?
Stop.
I would definitely go. And
We should both go to the duel.
Yeah.
The duel.
We're gonna try it as a team. It's Pam. 2 M's.
Are you saying Pan or Pam?
Deanum. There's a D on the end. There's no D. It's Pam.
That'd be funny.
Geno Smith in at quarterback for the New York Jets. I think we all collectively agree that it is the right move. Correct?
Yes. You know what I was talking about with someone though. Speaking of drafting a quarterback.
Go ahead.
Like the most important thing is obviously finding a franchise quarterback.
Right.
Like if you have Tom Brady, it doesn't matter who's around him. Realistically, like they're making the playoffs with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Man.
Unless their team's absolutely awful.
That's been in the question.
Right.
Just saying. The whole system. Is a system
Russell Wilson, 3rd round guy. Andy Dalton, pretty good 2nd round guy. Multiple more guys like that. What if you drafted a quarterback with your first 3 picks or first 4 picks? Every round you drafted a quarterback.
What do you mean?
You drafted a
every year
quarterback? No, just 1 year. 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round, and 4th round. You drafted 4 quarterbacks.
What would be the significance of that?
At least one of them will end up being good, possibly.
That's ridiculous. Or they could all be bad.
But statistically speaking, one of them will end up good.
Good argument.
Math major.
Counter argument. You just wasted three draft picks.
Yeah, easily.
Right.
You just wasted a year.
But fourth rounders a lot of time end up getting cut.
So you just wasted a
Like,
pick.
you'd rather you see what
That's
these.
another
But
waste
you're
of a pick.
saying
Exactly.
okay, but for the top 2 picks in the draft, do you see what these teams give up? They give up more than that. They give up a first rounder, another first rounder, a second rounder.
Well, like, honestly, would you like if the Jets
That would
did
never
that
happen.
next year? Would you be like, "Oh, that's a good draft, good draft"?
No, never.
I think though the Jets are actually praying that Geno Smith plays well, because I do think that if Geno Smith does play well, and let's say the Jets do finish this season 6-10, maybe even 7-9.
10-6. Yeah.
All right, yeah, nice man. But let's say these next 10 games they finish over 500, which is definitely realistic again with that schedule, because they can realistically. All right, let's look at it.
The only game that they can't win is at New England. Every other game they literally have a shot at.
And they're probably going to split against New England.
Right.
What?
Home against the Ravens, I'm going to say they win this one. At Cleveland, I'll give them a win also. At Miami, I'll give them that win. Rams, not sure. Patriots, they're going to split. Colts, I'll give them the win. Niners, I'll give them the win. Miami, I'll give them the. I know that's being very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? Starts with an O,
Generous?
means positive.
Optimistic?
Optimistic, yeah. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, welcome.
You got it. Thank you, I should say. But there are 1, 2, 3.
Why do you guys say like they're gonna split with New England like easy? You're just saying like odds.
You're just hoping.
I think you're hoping, and you have to assume that you at least split with every division. I think, unless if a team is
from
really
a roster talent standpoint, the Jets would be favored in every one of those games,
except for
both New England games.
Except for both.
You say that all the time.
But no, it's the truth though. There are 8 games here
like
that
if
they can
these
win.
games were played on paper, the Jets should go
8-2,
8-2,
9-1,
8-2, yeah.
9-1 if you want to give
If
it
it
a
was on
split to New
paper.
England.
Right.
Exactly. Agreed.
I think
Agreed.
they'll win the Ravens game
100%.
because the Jets are at home. I think that's big.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
Cleveland Indians are going to World Series.
All right. Oh really?
Yes, they won.
Ooh, congratulations to the Cleveland Indians.
I'm upset that they lost though. I wanted them to just be undefeated.
Cubs
Oh,
down.
that would have been so cool.
Cubs still down in the series. Just saying.
Cubs still down in the series. Cleveland in wow. How about Cleveland?
Cleveland,
this is for you. First time since 1997. Oh yeah, they made it that year. They beat the Yankees in the division series, I think.
Yes.
And then they beat someone, obviously. Who did they lose to? That they lost to the
Right.
Marlins.
Where in '97?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
Really? It was in the break. No.
No, the Braves made it in '95.
Oh.
I
don't know.
Is that the year Chipper Jones batted like 400?
Probably.
Yeah.
But
Guy's
going
beast,
back to the
really.
Jets, though, there are
Oh yeah. Sorry.
at least 8 games where you look at that, and despite how badly that they've been playing, on paper, you like their chances. So let's say we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, 6-4 end of the season, because 8-2 is just way too generous. Let's say 6-4 these next 10 games.
Okay.
They finish 7-9, and
Oh,
Geno
watch
plays
that.
relatively well. Do the Jets re-sign Geno Smith to a 2-year deal? I think you have to.
You have to.
It would have to be a 1-2-year max contract.
I won't
And
give him a 1. I'd give him a 2.
You give him a 2. Okay.
You know, rest of the franchise tag also.
You
The
can
rest of
do
your
that,
team,
too.
the rest of your team is set anyway.
But he's being grossly overpaid. No one else
Yes.
is going to pay him anything close to that.
That's true.
You're right, but
Yeah, you could steal. him.
but who are the Jets losing in free agency,
But imagine this.
if anyone?
Imagine he has a good season.
If you don't
Right?
have a franchise quarterback, you move on.
Imagine. Well, what do you mean?
No, I think if you don't have a franchise quarterback, then you have to re-sign Geno Smith to at least a year or two.
I think if this guy Geno Smith, you don't think he's going to be your franchise quarterback, he's just going to be an average guy. You got to move on. You're not going to win. You have to.
I
draft
understand
Then
that,
what do you do?
but there's no but there's no one available. That's why I'm saying if Geno Smith plays well, you have to sign him to at least a 1 or 2 year deal, and try to get more trade value, because they have nobody unless if you want to be really insane. And the rumor that's been going around for 4 years saying the Jets should trade for Drew Brees,
Imagine how bad the Saints would be. Oh my God.
they would be really bad.
But
Yeah.
the problem is with what you're saying, which is why Geno needs to do good, and this is why Petty should not play until they're eliminated. You look at the age of the good players on the Jets team; they are absolutely in win now mode.
Yeah.
Their team is in win now mode. They're not. No one's in rebuilding mode at all.
No,
The
no,
players
not
are
at all.
old. They want to win. Forte, Marshall, Revis. They want to win now.
Yeah.
The thing in rebuilding was the quarterback spot. That's what it is.
And
Really.
they thought they had it.
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone was sure that they had it.
Especially at the year he had last year.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of it. So.
That Bengals game, they lost off kicking. I can't get over that. That really kills them.
No, 100%. But I think the Jets are praying that Geno plays well. A, for obviously the comeback, but B, so they have a quarterback for at least another year.
Yeah.
At least another year. And then you know what? I think there will be more quarterbacks. Let's see quarterbacks in 2018. Let's find out.
Like free agency?
Free agents.
Oh.
Stafford, Kaepernick, Breeze, Bradford, Foles, Bortles.
No, Bortles
Breeze is looking for a 4-year, $100 million deal right now, so he will not be a free agent. He's going to get an extension.
Yeah, he'll be 38.
Yeah, they're still going to pay.
4 years?
4 years, $100 million. That's what he wants.
Then maybe the Saints will try to trade him.
No, they're already talking. They're going to get him.
They love him.
Either way,
I like Stafford though.
There are a lot. Of course, a lot of these guys can get the franchise tag, which probably, I think
Stafford could easily be
Stafford
out there.
Stafford will.
I don't know.
See, the thing, they're free agents, but
a lot of them will probably get a franchise tag.
Quarterbacks get re-signed the season before.
What's that?
Like, all right, so these guys that are free agents
That's true too.
Re-signed next season.
No, this coming off season.
Right, exactly. And then they'll get a 4-year extension. That's why there aren't any free agent quarterbacks that are good.
That's true.
Because they get extensions.
Okay.
But that's
Colin Kaepernick?
Yeah.
Hey, Colin Kaepernick. Come on, man.
That's all
right. Geno Smith at the helm for the New York Jets for the time being. We'll take one more break, and then we'll be back with something. I don't know. We'll talk about what we're going to talk about.
Good transition.
Thank you. Right here on Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM.
90.3 Ramapo Radio, WRPR Mawa. Ramapo! Are you sick of DJs who get paid to get songs played off a set list that exists in the money-filled fists of the fat cat? That's old hat. You don't need that. Let's bring back the good tracks with the real cats who you knew you, and blew you away with the way they could say what they wanted to say every day. Let's bring back the good old days when cruising with the tunes in the afternoons was in, and human beings were human beings who loved the simple things, not being rough, tough, or rich enough to buy all that stuff. When people drove with their windows open and listened to music and had good times rolling, and they loved singing with the radio. Singing with the radio. Let's bring that back. Ramapo 90.3 on the FM dial. While streaming online, you'll find WRPRs by the people for the people. And let's bring back singing with the radio.
This is Devon Kennard from the New York Giants, and you're listening to Beast of the East on WRPR 90.3 FM.
No, honey, I'm good. I can have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home. It's been a long night here.
6:52 here in northern New Jersey. Oh, really quickly. Wow.
You all right?
If I don't say this, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Melissa. I said it first.
Happy birthday, Melissa. See, we were second. I was second.
Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow. You ruined it.
Sorry.
Melissa McCarthy, if you're listening, happy 21st birthday. Don't go out to any bars tonight because I don't feel like getting a call and having to pick you up and carry you out anywhere. Just kidding. That's a joke. We're trying to shed a little light on the situation. All right, I'm bad at jokes, guys. Happy birthday to Melissa, my lovely girlfriend of like 3.5 years, something like that. I don't really know anymore. That good stat.
Oh,
yeah, very good stat.
3.5 hours. Doesn't care anymore. Who cares?
Those years, man. Happy birthday, Melissa. Yeah, I'll see you later, I guess.
Thanks for tuning in.
What's that? Should I say that?
That's
You dare me?
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Melissa, call in. I want to tell you something. If you're listening, call in. I'm not.
Can we get like, what are we doing right now?
We're gonna talk about
wacky. I don't know.
No, we're gonna talk
Wacky
about
Wednesday.
some guy, another me guy that we hate.
Say it. Cam Newton.
Can I got your tongue?
Took so long.
I don't think he's. I don't know if he's a me guy. Like
Oh, I think so.
He's a baby.
He
He's a sore loser.
He wears number 1, so yeah, he is.
He's the biggest
It's
sore loser.
automatic.
Anyone that wears number 1.
He's the biggest sore loser. What are you looking at me for?
I understand that you are upset after a loss, but you know what? This is part of your job.
Oh yeah.
Your job is not go out there and play football. Your job is to go out there and play football and answer
He's a
questions
role model.
and you know, you said it. He's a role model. What he does with kids and community and charitable work and philanthropic work, awesome. Good for him. But you know what? When you talk about a team leader on the field and in the locker room, that can't happen.
Did I tell you about the play last week? He handed the ball to Jonathan Stewart. So they did the option, obviously, at like the 2 or 3 yard line. He always keeps it. You know that. So he hands it to Stewart. Stewart gets stuffed. You see him like roll back, like roll his eyes, like kind of like you suck kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I should have kept the ball. I'm way better.
I mean, he is, but
Right.
you can't have that attitude.
Mm.
You can't go in the locker room after a loss and walk out of a press conference. What kind of team leader is that? And I understand the last thing athletes want to do, even after a win, is talk to the media. NFL players don't like the media. I get it. No athlete ever does.
Yeah.
But you can't. I'm sorry, that can't happen. And you know, a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Bill Belichick does the same thing with the media." He doesn't. He really doesn't. He answers the questions, maybe not the way the media wants him to answer, but the difference between Cam Newton and Peyton Manning did the same thing too. He didn't shake hands at Super Bowl 48, whatever, but he still answered questions, and the difference between it is the fact that Cam Newton will do every celebration under the sun after he gets a 1 yard first down run, but when he gets beat, he can't handle it. That is the thing that bothers me. Go ahead, be upset at the media. Go ahead, give 2-word answers. I don't care. Just don't act like you are the. I get he's the man, flat out. He's the man, and he knows it too. But don't complain about people complaining about you dancing in the end zone. Don't be this. Oh, you better stop me if you don't want me to dance. Blah blah blah. And then
when they do
cry
stop
and
you.
and then cry and moan when they beat you.
Right. I don't have a problem with his celebrating. I more have a problem with the way he acts when
The
he loses.
hypocrisy.
Right.
The hypocrisy.
You can't be a gloating winner and then be a big sore loser. Like,
Yeah, it's literally childish.
Mhm.
And like the one of the differences I see in it is his body language. Usually, like if Belichick doesn't answer questions, he's still there. Like he like I have to be here because this is my job and whatnot. But then
It's
when
in the
Cam,
contract, by
it's
the way.
like Cam's just like looking at you and just like, yo, can you like hurry up? Like I want to get out of here.
Like,
Like,
rolling his eyes.
Yeah,
Doesn't want to be there.
But you know what? That's okay. But my issue is just him actually leaving the press conference.
Yeah.
Are you fine for that?
Well, I'm sure he will.
we saw signs of that last year.
Is it that difficult to talk to? Honestly, I've never done it before.
How long is the thing? You've done it.
5 minutes.
I think the minimum is 5 minutes. Marshawn Lynch used to
What's
have
wrong?
a timer.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Yeah, see, like that's not. I mean, I know that was like ridiculous too, but he stood there the whole time.
He was there. He was there for his requirement.
Yeah,
he was there.
So he's. I mean, but I don't know. Marshall, I miss him.
I have a question.
Yes.
It's a different subject. Can we change the subject? It's still football.
I guess so.
We got 2 minutes.
What's your question?
Go ahead.
Do you think the Cowboys are locked to win the NFC East?
No.
Why is that? Why would they be
I
alive?
personally think they're going to easily win 12 or 13 games, and I think it's their division.
They're my favorite right now, but I wouldn't say a lock.
I wouldn't call it a lock. They should be the favorite though, especially how Dak's playing. And
Giants still
Zeke is nuts.
Giants have a decent schedule coming up. But going back to Cam Newton, you just can't be this showboat. You can't be this me guy. I'm the best, blah blah blah, and then you lose and then not be able to take the heat. Don't give the heat and then not be able to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, I gave it a little bit of leeway.
That's because of the setup.
That's the
setup
Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that was also the setup too.
That was all right.
There was like a sheet, and he had to hear questions about the other team. How
Once,
they won.
yeah, once I heard that's
Yeah.
when I gave it. No, that understandable, but still not
Still signs though of what he's doing now.
right. It can't happen. You can't just hit the dab every first down that you get. No,
That's the thing. Does he still do it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But you can't just be showboating that much and then it's just simple sore loser. That's what it is.
Childish. I see
It's
it. I
childish,
believe it's
and
childish.
you're being a sore loser. I just
Mhm.
if you are that good, and you want to be a team leader, no one's going to say anything because the guy is arguably the best quarterback in football.
Yep.
I personally don't think so, but people. You don't what?
It's like top 10.
He's
Well,
been very consistent.
Well, this discussion.
Last year I still saw him.
Yeah, you did. Beast of the East, WRPR 90.3 FM, Mawa. Big thanks to Devon Kennard, Dominic Rodgers-Camardi, and Jonathan Casillas for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, guys. Anytime you guys want to come on, feel free. You know, all day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's talk about it. See you later. So long. Take care, everybody.
You ready? I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game and